them to do. They're adept at doing a ditty, getting rid of you and not having no handprints on.
The whispers point to a young artist named David, a former TikTok sensation who skyrocketed to fame with a major label deal and a debut album that amassed millions of streams. His meteoric rise, however, is now overshadowed by a tragic event: the death of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, found lifeless in the trunk of a Tesla registered to him. Her cause of death remains unclear, listed as deferred by the coroner, and the lack of transparency has fueled speculation. Friends of Celeste claim they believed she was a college student, possibly David's girlfriend, due to her frequent presence at his side in exclusive, age-restricted venues like clubs and industry events. She was described as shy and gentle, but the streets paint a different picture, suggesting her death wasn't a random tragedy but part of a sinister transaction tied to the very pig parties that have long haunted Hollywood's rumor mill. The theory, as dark as it is, posits that Celeste's death was no accident but a sacrifice, a price paid for David's rapid ascent. The timeline raises eyebrows. As David's career soared, Celeste's life unraveled. She had been reported missing multiple times in 2024 before her body was discovered. The lack of a robust investigation, coupled with David's silence, no public statement, no explanation, just a canceled tour and a vanished presence, has only deepened the suspicion. In Hollywood's conspiracy circles, this silence isn't seen as shyness or grief but as guilt, a refusal to address the allegations that Celeste was a casualty of the industry's shadowy rituals. The concept of pig parties isn't new. For decades, whispers have circulated about these exclusive gatherings where the rules of morality and decency are allegedly suspended. They're described as tests of loyalty, where aspiring stars and industry insiders are pushed beyond their limits, often recorded to ensure their compliance. Refuse to play along, and your career might stall. Participate, and you gain entry to the inner circle, but at a cost. Some point to historical examples, like the parties at Hugh Hefner's mansion, which conspiracy theorists claim were more than just lavish gatherings. Others reference Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut, arguing the film was a veiled exposé of these rituals, with its depiction of masked elites engaging in secretive, hedonistic ceremonies. Voices like Jaguar Wright, Orlando Brown, and comedian Katt Williams have long warned of these events, describing them as freak-offs where power, not pleasure, is the true currency. Williams, in particular, has been vocal, insisting that Hollywood doesn't reward talent alone, it demands obedience, often extracted through humiliating or compromising acts at these gatherings. In this context, Celeste's story takes on a chilling resonance. At just 15, she was allegedly navigating a world far too adult for her, slipping into clubs and events with fake IDs, always with David nearby. The gossip suggests she wasn't just a bystander, but someone drawn into the orbit of these pig parties, where young, vulnerable individuals are allegedly exploited by the powerful. Her repeated disappearances and eventual death align suspiciously with David's breakthrough moment, fueling theories that she was a trade-off, a life sacrifice to secure his fame. The absence of clear answers from authorities or David's team only amplifies these claims, as does the eerie timing of a swatting incident at his family's rural home on September 18, 2025, just a day after his Los Angeles rental was raided. His parents told police they believed someone is messing with us, hinting at a coordinated effort to intimidate or distract from the growing scrutiny. The speculation doesn't stop with Celeste and David. Conspiracy theorists point to a broader pattern in Hollywood, where sudden tragedies often shadow meteoric rises. Whitney Houston's death in 2012, for instance, occurred during a high-profile pre-Grammy party hosted by a music mogul, with her body found upstairs while the celebration continued below. Years later, her daughter Bobbi Kristina died in eerily similar circumstances, prompting whispers of a double sacrifice tied to the industry's inner workings. Kanye West has openly claimed his mother, Donda, was his sacrifice, a loss that coincided with his transformation from a rising rapper to a global icon. Aaliyah's 2001 plane crash, officially attributed to an overloaded aircraft, is still questioned by those who note her rising star power and the opportunities her death opened for others. Michael Jackson's 2009 death, ruled a homicide by propofol overdose, is seen by some as the elimination of a star who had grown too independent, too powerful for the industry's comfort. These stories, whether rooted in truth or speculation, form a chilling template. A young talent climbs the ladder, a tragedy strikes nearby, and the silence that follows allows the career to flourish until the whispers catch up. David's case fits this mold too neatly for some. His breakout song, Romantic Homicide, released in 2022, includes lyrics that now feel prophetic. In the back of my mind, you died, and I didn't even cry. No, not a single tear. At the time, fans saw it as a poetic take on heartbreak, but in light of Celeste's death, some reinterpret it as a confession, a glimpse into a darker truth. His alter ego, Itami, steeped in bloody imagery, and a TikTok clip where he jokingly referenced chopping chicken if his partner spoke to other men, have been retroactively flagged as ominous. While there's no concrete evidence tying these to Celeste, the conspiracy crowd doesn't need proof. They see patterns. The lyrics, the imagery, the timing of her death, and David's sudden rise all align in a way that feels too deliberate to dismiss. The pig party rumors gain traction because they tap into a broader distrust of Hollywood's inner workings. Figures like Diddy, whose infamous parties have been labeled as similar freak-offs, are often cited as evidence of a system that thrives on control and compromise. Jaguar Wright has claimed that many in the industry are owned because of what they did or allowed at these events. Katt Williams echoes this, arguing that fame comes with a toll, a price paid in loyalty or sacrifice. In this narrative, Celeste wasn't just a victim of circumstance, but a pawn in a larger game, her youth and vulnerability exploited to test or secure David's place in the industry. The fact that she was able to access adult spaces with fake IDs, despite being underage, only deepens the suspicion that she was entangled in a world that preyed on her inexperience. The lack of clarity around Celeste's death keeps the story alive. New footage has surfaced, allegedly showing her final movements before she vanished, found in a car that may have been abandoned for some time. The timeline remains murky, but it's enough to keep the gossip swirling. Why was a 15-year-old at these events? How did she end up in David's car? Why has no one, neither David nor the authorities, provided a clear explanation? The silence is deafening, and in Hollywood, silence often speaks louder than words. For David's fans, his withdrawal from the public eye might signal grief or caution on legal advice. But to the conspiracy theorists, it's an admission of complicity, a refusal to confront the allegations head-on. Celeste's story is a tragedy in itself, but its entanglement with Hollywood's darker myths makes it even more haunting. She was a teenager with a life ahead of her, yet she's now remembered more as a symbol in conspiracy threads than as a person. Her repeated disappearances, her presence in spaces she shouldn't have been, and her ultimate fate paint a picture of a young girl caught in a machine that chews up the vulnerable. The gossip doesn't just exploit her memory, it overshadows it, turning her into a cautionary tale about the cost of fame. Meanwhile, David's career, once a fairy tale of a TikTok kid turned star, now feels cursed, weighed down by questions he hasn't answered. The pig party rumors, whether true or not, persist because they resonate with a deeper truth about Hollywood. It's a place where power dynamics are ruthless, and success often comes with strings attached. Katt Williams' warnings, once dismissed as the rants of a provocateur, now feel prophetic to those who see Celeste's death as part of a larger pattern. The industry's history is littered with stories of stars who rose too fast, only to be shadowed by tragedy. Whitney, Ilya, Michael, and now, perhaps, David and Celeste. The whispers suggest Hollywood doesn't create new scandals. It recycles them, repackaging the same dark bargains for each generation.